It's where that cue ball finishes up. It wasn't a bad little shot to nothing in its own right. Didn't leave too much on if he had have missed the red.
Good angle now, of course. Going to play a little cannon up above onto the loose red.
And this really was a very, very good 147. Lots of times we see 147 breaks made these days and the balls are already split up through a number of safety shots. But you've got 10 reds still part of the triangle there at the back, so this is got to be made. At some stage these balls have got to be broken up.
Already we're seeing close cue ball control of the highest quality from Ding. Always keeping the right angles and as close as possible to those object balls.
And here comes the shot that changes the face of this particular frame. Ding was a bit unhappy with he just fractionally underhit that white in potting the black, and now he's got to run into the reds, and this is the shot really where it all goes right for him. He's got to power through these reds, lots of top spin. He didn't bash at it,
17.
and obviously in the commentary box they were saying, well, he's left it a bit short, but he was worried about the ball going to the side cushion. So fantastic the amount of top spin and how it threaded its way through those balls, John.
Yeah, this is a pretty good shot as well. I mean, bridging over, of course.
This could obviously have gone all wrong.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a shot that you'd be in a hurry to play using the spider. You can easily knock the cue ball offline using this implement.
And of course, he was feeling pretty good about his game anyway. 4-2 in front. It does help a little bit if you're in front.
Still a very good shot, that though. Very good. And a lot of players wouldn't be happy having to play that one.
Still some work to be done with the reds. As you see, they're crowded. They're in the way of each other, blocking each other's paths to the pocket. So accurate position required from red to black.
24.
Not just a case of getting on the black anywhere.
In making a break like this, of course, Steve, in the early stages you've got quite a few more options with having so many reds. I mean, he'd be thinking
52.
probably, what, a couple of shots ahead while he's making this?
Well, yes, obviously, when there are many reds on the table, you are trying to give yourself, on occasions, as many red options as possible that you can get back to the black. And as you can see the way he's played that black, he screwed back across the face of the red, giving himself the chance of this red to cut into the middle pocket or a possible red into the left corner.
I mean, this is undoubtedly, it's not the one he's played on, is it? He's played on the other red of those three that you can see beneath the one he's taking now, the outside right one of that, but, he's given himself the option. If he wasn't on one, he was on this one. And once again, that was well controlled.
Well, this is where the 147 break has been dissected, so to speak. I mean, once upon a time, it was a novelty when we got one. Now players are understanding how to go about position and keep the cue ball in play, and the 147 has become easier, not the mystery it once was. You've just got to keep that cue ball with as many chances as possible of being on a red. Obviously on occasions you've got to play on a specific red, and he deliberately played to cannon that red and leave himself on the one nearest the black.
40.
But once again, the balls are still crowded and there's got to be work to be done in colliding with balls.
And that's the other thing, when you make those breaks, he's played
41.
that lovely little cannon, but of course he's knocked another one into a cluster, so sometimes playing the right shot can end up being the wrong shot, can't it?
With a view to the 147 break. Obviously the first criteria in any frame is to get over the line, the winning line, but the best ball really to get the points on the board is the black. It's the closest to the reds, so players do concentrate on making breaks around the black spot when they're in practice, so these shots become
28.
natural to you. Now this is going to help. He pots this red, screws across the face of the black, opens two more reds up into the right hand
49.
corner. Keep your eye on those two reds that are together now, touching each other just to the left, to the right of the pink spot. They become quite critical later in the break.
Noticeable, of course, a couple of shots ago there, Steve, he decided to go in the pack. He thought it was the right time to promote a few balls into better positions. Sometimes you just can't land on a ball, you do have to move a few of them about.
just got there with that one. Any lower than that, and he would have been potting the red and going away from the black. And now there's less reds on the table. Positional play becomes more critical, getting to the stage where you must guarantee to get the right side, probably of just the one ball you're playing on, not a selection of reds. Just had enough room
57.
to get past that. Now there was a possibility of potting this red and colliding with those two reds to the right of the pink spot, but that wouldn't necessarily guarantee position on a red to get back for the black. And by now he's probably thinking of the 147 break. £25,000 and obviously £10,000 for the highest break
64.
of the tournament. He's guaranteed more or less to be over the line in this frame.
Potting this red, of course, opens
65.
up the one that was closest to it. So that's made it a little better, but as you say, Steve, those two reds together are always looking like they're going to be the problem. The player himself will be looking at that and saying, well, I'll get to you later.
But obviously if at any stage Ding does get the perfect angle to pot the black, stun into those reds
72.
and leave himself guaranteed position on a red to get back for the black, he would be taking it on. But as we see,
73.
it doesn't necessarily pan out this way. It would have been nice if he perhaps could have screwed into the two reds off of this black, but he's just gone a fraction too far, and now it's getting to the stage where he must guarantee to get the right side of a red to get back for the black. And he's guaranteeing to do that very well, and looks completely in control, doesn't he? I mean, we've seen players who have never made a 147
80.
break on television before balk at their chance and start to get a bit jittery, but Ding certainly didn't look that.
Another example there, of course, of leaving yourself options. Could have played the one in the centre pocket, or this one. Decided that was the
81.
angle he wanted to be on. And now, of course, playing this one, you've got to make sure you're staying high up the table, so that the two reds that are loose, you can pot them and once again get back towards the black.
And he's more or less now, with this positional shot, sacrificed the chance of splitting these two reds apart and getting position on another red. He's now, at some stage, got to play the split and hope he's on one of those
88.
two reds, or perhaps choose something else. But he's cueing so well, and we've talked
89.
about his cue action in the section of snooker we did with Terry Griffiths and Stephen Hendry on what Ding's strengths are. We was talking about the fact that he doesn't seem to have anything special in his cue action. It's just a very simple backwards and forwards a couple of times, gets on with it and just delivers the cue in a straight line. It's a very economical cue action.
I think in most sports, and simple is the best, isn't it? Keep it as simple as possible.
Well, here's where Ding makes the big decision not to split the reds up.
This is a little bit tricky, actually, because he does have to think about this one.
He could have been forgiven for trying to cannon into these two reds, but he decided to play what would turn out to be the much better option, as long as you're potting well and can play under pressure when you want to make a 147 break on TV and pick up a few quid to take back to China.
96.
He's come superbly on this as well. Gives himself the chance to pot the red, screw back off the top cushion. Not just a soft screw back, hit it firm.
Good shot. And of course, that red is now free. And once again, what positional shot can I play here to leave myself at least guaranteed on one, if not two? So, having a look around the table, see where he wants to finish. And of course now, the nerves and the butterflies will certainly be increasing, because he knows this is a fantastic chance.
The red to the right of the table is the more difficult one to get good position on, to get back on the black. Just got to get up there a bit. He's a bit short of pace, just a fraction.
I think it's one of those shots there, Steve, where he's just a little bit worried that he could have run past the pink, and he's just played it a little bit on the shy side to guarantee that he didn't go up that far.
This was a lot better shot than it looked. Playing with side spin, even a fraction of side spin and pace, sometimes you can misjudge them, but he put a nice bit of right hand side on that shot, controlled right hand side. And now you can see where he's looking to leave the right angle to be on the red into the middle pocket to make an easy path back for the black. Just drop this red in, just drop the black in. and leave himself that nice angle to drop the red in to get back on the black. Now the one thing you don't want to be here, John, is
112.
straight on the black.
This is not actually a gimme either, is it? The red in the centre. You know, you've got to make sure that you get this on an acute angle, blind pocket. You know the adrenaline's pumping at this moment, so actually played that with a little stun shot, didn't he? A lot of players would have dropped that in and left the angle high there, but he decided to play down for this half ball off the black. Didn't quite get half ball on it. It's nearly more or less 3/4, but deep screw with a little bit of side. The cue ball zip away there. Absolutely superb.
Crowd starting to get very excited now as they realise not just the fact that
120.
Ding's in with a chance, but that he looks like he's going to make it. You can sense when a
122.
player looks in control, and the way he cleared these colours up, never in doubt really in my mind. So many players we've seen start to twitch a little bit on the shot, start to
125.
underhit a shot, overhit a positional shot, and leave themselves the wrong side of perhaps the blue in this situation just because of the adrenaline and the nerves. But Ding just looked like he was just down the club.
129.
Nice that the pink actually was closer to the blue for this shot. Nice little drop the blue in, get the other side of the pink for the middle pocket.
And of course trying to guard against the player's ultimate nightmare, Steve. We did see it a few years ago with Ken Doherty when he could have won an £88,000 sports car.
Don't remind us.
Do not miss the black, because that would be a horror show. Perfect screw shot.
140.
Take a deep breath, stand back, do your same routine and knock it in the pocket and make a maximum. Well played.